Hi, virtual audience. I'm Xandra Robinson Burns. I'm an essayist, and this is a piece that I wrote for my website, Heroine Training, back in September that felt relevant to read now. It's called Just Lying on the Rug. Dear reader, I get cranky when I'm not working, and yet I've learned that I can't work nonstop. And yet, taking a break feels like this immensely privileged problem. Ugh, I can't stand all this free time I have. I'm starting to accept that I love my work. I can be grateful for that without apologizing. It's okay that I struggle with breaks. I always have. I've learned that rest is mandatory. If I don't accept rest on my own terms, my body will shut down unannounced. Actually, it does announce. It does warn me. I just don't listen. I'd like to start listening. As a teenager, I was so distracted with busyness that I didn't have time to notice my own depression. I had time for two things: work and being burnt out, blacked out on academic addiction. At university, I'd had enough. I refused to carry on like this, so I did a radical thing each week. I took a day off. I escaped to the mountains or to London, filling up on fresh air and art. I left my work behind physically so I couldn't work. On the sleepy ride home, I'd feel more energized than ever, ready to face writing the next day. In the present, I wish to reconcile our home with work. We have one room that serves as my study, our dining room, kitchen, and living room. I'm learning to enjoy it as a home, not just as an office that I happen to live in. On Saturday, I had a plan. I gave myself the morning for work and the afternoon for not work. I packed up my office and entered the afternoon. At first I felt lost, like reaching the last page of a new favorite novel, wondering, well, now what do I do with myself? "The floor is nice," said Steve, who was lying on the rug with the dog. "Come join us on the floor." So I did. We just lay there, and in letting my body sink into the ground, I realized how tired I felt. Just lie on the rug. The puppy does this a lot, and she seems to get a lot out of it. Okay, what next? I can do anything, I promised myself. Anything except work. Anything that doesn't count towards my to-do list. I scrubbed the front of the oven. I rearranged our plants. I lay on the bed listening to a podcast. I made collages on the floor. I found the page I'd bookmarked in Walden. I'd been reading it slowly, and on this particular evening, it reminded me that daily life is enough. Thoreau was just sitting there in his cabin in the woods, waiting for visitors, wondering who would bother to make the trek to see him. Just waiting in the woods. A farmer wandered by. A poet came to visit. I laughed at Thoreau's assertion that a poet can be counted on. He wrote, "Nothing can deter a poet, for he is actuated by pure love." Sometimes I struggle to accept rest when it's unclear whether I've earned it. Sometimes I argue with my privilege, feeling disgusted with it, but I've learned that this is a waste of time. It helps no one and exhausts me. When I am well rested, when I care for myself, I can give more. With rest, I can understand exactly where I am in the present, privileges and all, and from there, I can do more. I can do better. I'm still not sure what this looks like exactly, but I'm figuring it out, fully and slowly, rather than rushing to do something, anything, just to look like I care. Doing is satisfying in the short term. I found some lists from years ago. You know that be, do, have exercise? You brainstorm what you want if you could be, do, or have anything. I've always found the be part challenging. I don't need to be anyone. I just want to be. I want to be in my life with enough space to enjoy its corners, to feel my life. Not just do or have, but be fully. Be in the present often enough to witness it, just lying on the rug. I love a routine. It's easy to get fixated on the list of steps and forget the ritual. Habits are life on autopilot, but when we choose them intentionally, they are the best little parts of our lives. I'm working on a different kind of habit, a habit of not working. Be more, do less. Making rest less about deserving it, just lying on the rug, doing nothing, and therefore being entirely. I'll let you know where this takes me. Until the next chapter, Xandra. Thank you.